Tornado is a dangerous natural disaster in Bangladesh and it must be addressed soon. Our company recommends the construction of an underground basement as an evacuation center in case of a tornado. The air around us may seem all the same, however, the air around us have major differences. Temperature and air pressure are the most distinctive features that separate the types of air. These types of air, called air fronts, and when they collide, huge natural disasters occur. Tornadoes happen based on the exact same principle. Air fronts change their altitude based on the temperature of the front. Warm air rises into the sky, while cold air drops to the ground. The change in altitude based on the temperature of the air front causes a wind drift, where the cold air falling due to gravity's force push away the hot air. This phenomenon is called thermal.
Change of altitude of the different air fronts creates a tornado. A thunderstorm that scientists call supercells form, and then that results in rainfall. The kinetic energy from the rainfall brings the cell down to the ground because of a downdraft, and then that churning force creates a funnel which keeps increasing its speed as it descends.
Bangladesh is located where the warm and moist wind from the Bay of Bengal can easily enter, meaning that one part of the essential factors needed to create a tornado is already abundant. However, the Himalaya mountain and the Tibet mountain maintain a very low temperature because of its high altitude, even if the latitude of the location is similar. And sometimes when the cold air from the Himalayan mountains finds its way south into Bangladesh, a tornado will occur.
Well, Bangladesh is where two very contrasting air fronts meet with each other. One air front is the warm and moist air front that blows in from the Bay of Bengal. The other air front is the cold one that is located up in the Himalayan mountains in the Tibet. Bangladesh is located right in the middle of the two air fronts, making a perfect place for tornadoes to occur.
Most tornadoes in Bangladesh happen in the central and southern part of Bangladesh, where Dhaka is located. Tornadoes cause a massive amount of damage. They destroy houses, infrastructure, kill people, and it destroys the ecosystem. Bangladesh is the victim to one of the deadliest tornadoes in the world. It may not be exposed to tornadoes as many times as some other countries, but it is just as vulnerable. Due to a lack of preparation, Bangladesh was the victim to one of the deadliest tornadoes in the world. The tornado killed more than 800 people and more than 100,000 people were affected. Tornadoes are a problem for Bangladesh because tornadoes often come along with rainstorms. Flooding is already a problem in Bangladesh, and tornadoes happen to make the problem worse. Tornadoes increase the amount of flooding by increasing the rainfall, and it causes more damage when two natural disasters hit at the same time. Tornadoes are one of the causes of the annual flooding in Bangladesh, which very upsets the agriculture and the economy as it floods more than 2.6 million hectares. This often causes a shortage of food. It is also terrible for the economy of Bangladesh as about a fifth of the economy is dependent on agriculture. Tornadoes and other natural disasters bring negative effects on the economy of Bangladesh. Bangladesh recorded its lowest economic growth rate in nearly a decade in 1989. This was the year when a major tornado happened. There were some other natural disasters that year, but it is undeniable that the tornado caused great impacts on the economy. Also, in 1991, when another major tornado happened, the economy growth rate fell over 48% compared to the one of last year, in 1990. These kind of natural disasters are also a political threat. In Bangladesh, the ruling party, the Jatiya Party, who had an overwhelming majority of 85% of the seats in the parliament in 1986 before the tornado, didn't manage to win a single seat in the next election, which proving that the public sentiment had completely left the party. Three forces called compression, torsion, and shearing are applied on a house when a tornado hits. The compression is when the strong winds squeeze in from both sides of the house and compresses the house. Torsion happens because of the circularly rotating winds within the tornado. The forces from the wind tries to pull the house with the direction of the wind, often dragging the house and causing torsion. Shearing. Tornadoes also cause a house to shear. Shearing is a force that makes a part of the building slide past the other part of the building.
If you choose to use our solution, we can assure you that through the upgrading of the homes of Dhaka's citizens to become windproof, less homes will be destroyed, and we can also ensure that the people of Dhaka, Bangladesh, are safe in our underground shelters, thus reducing the impact the natural disaster tornado has on Bangladesh, which will reduce the effect it has on Bangladesh's economy and death toll. Our proposed two-part solution to reduce the death toll in the face of a tornado was created with two other factors in mind: that a storm will accompany the tornado, therefore bringing floods, and that the tornado will throw flying debris that can reach speeds up to 100 miles per hour with the ability to pierce through normal household material. The door that will be constructed as the entrance to the basement will be made of 12 gauge steel in accordance with the recommendation by Home Guides. A continuous load path is a method in which everything from the roof of the house to its walls are connected to the foundation through the use of metal connectors, nails, and screws. Under normal conditions, should the window and or door be extremely weak, when the tornado passes by, the roof and the walls are ripped from the house. But through the use of the method continuous load path, if your connection is strong, the only way for your house to be wrecked by a tornado would be either your house was hit by flying debris or your house was ripped from its very foundation. Cross bracing is the best way to ensure that the building is strong against tornado-like winds. According to Bulaya Masha, the triangles we can see in the cross bracings, once fixed, won't bend or change in angles unless one of the sides is stretched or squashed. Therefore, by adding cross bracings to your structure, you will reduce the chances of your walls collapsing due to torsion and bending forces applied to the house due to the wind. Tornadoes will pull things off the ground and send it flying at your house. According to Turtle, an object such as a 2 by 4 wood stud weighing 15 pounds when carried by a 250 miles per hour wind can have a horizontal speed of 100 miles per hour and enough force to penetrate most common material used in houses today. So, in accordance with this knowledge, all tornado safe entrances to the basement will meet Home Guide's recommendation. So, the wall above the basement and the wall that surrounds the entrance to the basement will be constructed of two layers of plywood and one layer of 14 gauge steel. However, the rest of the basement will use reinforced concrete to ensure that the walls of the basement are strong but cost less. However, while underground, you cannot be sure as to how long you will be stuck there. According to FEMA, or Federal Emergency Management Agency, you need at least 5 square feet of floor space for each occupant. Additionally, you will also need 5 square feet of floor for the water, food, and other medical supplies. The ventilation system for the basement will consist of two parts: a smart vent under normal situations where there are no tornadoes or flood. So, as to save material and money, fresh air is allowed into the basement. In the case where you are trapped from the outside world inside the basement with limited air supply, fear not, for our solution has this problem solved for you. Through the use of modern science, we will be creating our own oxygen. But before that, we need to understand some key points. The air we breathe is made up of four gases. 78%, it is 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, 9.4% argon, 0.04% carbon dioxide. However, when we inhale the oxygen, our bodies use it and produce carbon dioxide as a byproduct. 4.5% of the air we exhale is carbon dioxide. So, to get rid of this, we use soda lime or sodium hydroxide and calcium hydroxide. These substances absorb the carbon dioxide out of the air and allow us to breathe oxygen once again. To spread this around, we will be using a specialized fan called a tornado that will spread the oxygenated air around the room. The shape of the basement will be an arc. An arc is a strong shape that, when it has braces, will be stronger. So instead of braces, the dirt and the earth itself will be there to support the shape of the basement. However, the solution has a few limitations. The size, because there are more than 15 million people in Dhaka, meaning that building basements for everyone would require theoretically 14 square kilometers of space just to build enough basements for everyone in Dhaka. Another problem would be where to build first. Due to the reason above, it is highly likely that the construction project will be progressed through many stages. Thus, conflicts about where to build a basement could arise from the people and within the government, causing political disputes. Another problem would be the cost. Aid money is required since Bangladesh is a very poor country. There are two possible ways to receive aid money necessary. One is to one is to directly receive aid money from foreign developed governments, and the second is to receive funds from organizations.